All right. What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your boy G, the number one Cowboy fan. Have to coming at you live, direct, and correct with some Mo news. That's right. I said Mo news, MO news that you can use. And here we are. Monday night mic'd up. Yeah, man. Let's give it up. Monday night. It's like Blue Monday. Yeah. Anybody know anything about Blue Monday? Yeah. Where everybody can't get out, but those that will get out, they're faithful to Blue Monday. Now, if you don't know what Blue Monday is, you need to ask somebody. And you kind of ask yourself, how do these folks end up going out on Blue Monday? Blue Monday. Blue Monday is like a club night. And a little hole in the wall. You know, they call it Blue Monday. You go there and hang out, listen to some good music, have some good drinks on Monday nights. So that's something like what we're doing. Everybody can't come out on Monday night, but only those that are faithful. Who's the folks that comes out and hangs out with us tonight. So we want to give thanks to everybody that's here tonight, that's coming in. And we want to say thank you to all the subscribers and all those that follow this channel, that take time to support our channel. And just want to say thank you, man, for all you have done. And without you, we would not be where we are today. So thank you. Monday night, that's where we are. Monday night mic'd up. Now remember, I told you that this is a viewers live stream. This is a viewers live stream. I've already put the link in the comments, so I'm definitely planning on bringing some folks on tonight. Last week, I think we had one individual come on last week. So hey, man, that's what we're doing. So it's on you guys to bring your skills to the table. So yeah, that's what's going on. Also, I got to give a big shout out to those social media groups. We got to give a big shout out to them social media groups, the ones that play our content in their social media, on their social media channel. So we want to say a big thanks to the Dallas Cowboys on deck, Cowboys fans 365, We Them Boys, Dallas Cowboys Insider. These are our Facebook social media groups that takes time to share our content in their group. And again, I always say, make sure you stop through and be a part of these groups, because these are diehard Cowboy fans. And listen, they know what they talking about. So I can't bring nothing, no square business to it. I got to bring the real deal to them. So I want to say thank you to all those social media groups. Yeah. So man, let's get right on into this. I gotta say big shout out. I gotta say big shout out. I've been following this organization, man. I said, man, one day I'm gonna get to hang out with these cats, man. These brothers and sisters, so they so loked out, man, and they ride or die about the Cowboys. And man, I say one day I'm gonna get to hang out with these guys. Yeah, this is me, G, the number one Cowboy fan. Have to giving a big shout out to those hard hitters. So we had Marquis come on last week. Marquis came on with us last week. He saw the little Eagle fan Drew. We gave him a little TV time. And we had to go in on. We had some guys from What's Up Wednesday go in on this guy. He was an Eagle fan, and he wanted to come in with all this nonsense. You know, we got trolls that come through. We invite the trolls, but they got to remember they come into the Lions Den, and when you come to the Lions Den, I am not responsible. So so we had a couple of guys that went in on that guy, and then Marquis had to come in and say, man, I heard you. I heard the noise, so I had to show up. So big shout out to Marquis and them hard hitters. Real talk. So let's get right on into this, man. I'm gonna report a little news with some of the things that's being reported right now. And right now, what's going on? Hey, I don't know if y'all heard, but guess what? Zack is back. That's Zack Martin. That's who I'm talking about. Zack Martin is back with the squad, man. And you know what's so funny about that is that the thing about it is, I think after they saw the situation on Saturday, that they felt the need that, you know what, this might not work. So so Zack is back. So here's the deal. Here's what's being reported. So on Monday, which is today, the Cowboys gave star guard Zack Martin an $8.5 million overall raise. He will now make $18 million in each of his next 2 seasons, and it will likely go down as the most sensible move of the entire offseason. Now, the question is why? Well, out of a contentious contract negotiation situation that saw Martin hold out from Dallas preseason activity, the Cowboys had a vested interest in giving their arguably best player what he deserved. Or at the very least, they just saw how their backup guards blocked against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, yeah, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Jerry Jones is not a fool. Jerry Jones is not a fool. So Jerry Jones said, well, uh, that's not looking good out there. I don't think we can depend on those guys. So yeah. So hey, we got somebody already out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him. I'm sure appreciate him coming in. So we got to bring him on in. All right. Z Money. Z Money says who let me pull up Z Money. Z Money says what? Who are you more confident in, Diggs as cornerback? Or oh man, you can't go wrong, Z Money. Z Money, you can't. That's why you think Dak was throwing them picks. And that's going to go for every other quarterback out there. They got to pick their paws in Z Money. So it's even. I say 25 interceptions this year. So while we getting started, let me go ahead and bring my man on, Pro Cowboys. He's in the house. What's up, my man? You doing all right?
Yes, sir. How you doing? How you
Hey,
doing?
man, I'm just excited. We got our offensive guard back. Zack is back. So man, I'm excited, man, that we again, like I said, after they saw what was going on Saturday, they said, you know what? Pay the man.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what we said this morning. I was just looking at it, and they took a look at that offensive line that first half, and they're like, yeah, yeah. Let's do this now. Yeah, you're exactly right. You nailed it right on it, man.
Oh man, and we're gonna get into all that, man. I'm just kind of reporting a little news right now until everybody comes in, man. But how you feeling about Zach being back, man? I mean, is that a sigh of relief or what do you think?
I wasn't really worried about it to be honest. Like we talked about it before
Hmm.
me and you, and we had said like this is. I don't even think they're going to keep the fines on him. They're going to pull that back. You
Yeah,
know. So it wasn't worried. And like you said, it just took this little bit. Like, hey, and Zach, like I said after the game, I was like, Zach Martin's the winner of this preseason game right here.
yeah,
As soon as the game was over, I said he's the winner of this preseason game. It is. It
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
I think now I did see a bright point in that offensive line probably second half with when Deuce got in. They they the run game got going there.
Hmm.
Um, the left tackle, fifth round pick from North Carolina. That's the kid I was
That's
watching.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I view him more as a guard, but they had him playing left tackle, and I
yeah.
thought he did pretty good. So
Well, like I said, they're stretched thin, man. So they just
yeah,
like get in where you fit in right now. But yeah, man, that's great news, man. And like I said, we know why that they brought Zach Martin back because of after what they saw. They
yeah.
said, well, you know what, this might not work. So yeah, we we need to do something, bring this guy on back, which is great, man. That's great that and I was looking at it both ways, Pete. I was really looking at it like, okay, what are we doing here, guys? It's kind of like, and I was kind of leaning towards Jerry a little bit by being dug in like he was, but at the same time, I understand where Zach was coming from too. So I'm just glad we had a kumbaya moment and we was able to
And,
get this guy signed.
and let's be glad we didn't do the whole Emmitt Smith go 0-2 during the season before they decided to bring him back. They saw it
Yeah.
right away. Let's do it right now. So
Yeah. So you're right about that, man. So that's great news, man, that we got him back on the team, which he's always been on the team. Which I think we both knew that he was gonna come back. We just didn't know when. So
yeah,
again, that's great news. And uh, with that being said, knowing that Zach has signed, well, somebody else has signed, and it says 1-5 all the way live. So
oh
Zeke
boy,
has
Zeke.
signed, and unfortunately. It's not with the Cowboys, but I got something here that I have to do. I got to do this, Pro Cowboy. I got to do this, Pete. So here we go. Let me get it ready.
Boy, he had to do it. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough, right? I mean, you go back to the Demarcus Ware, you go back to these guys. You just like, man, we root for them right so hard. We got their
Hey,
jersey.
yeah,
But
yeah.
at the
I mean,
at the at the same time, though, like I feel like they've gotten smarter with these deals, where rather than too late, that's
yeah.
all right. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it is what it is. It's part of the business.
Well, and when we talk about Zeke, so basically what's going to happen here, one of the veteran running backs is no longer on the outside of this is being reported of the NFL roster. The New England Patriots signed former Dallas Cowboys star Ezekiel Elliott on Monday. Elliott's 1 year deal includes a $3 million base salary and a $1 million signing bonus, and can be worth up to $6 million with incentives. So yeah. So is that not something that we could have done, Pete?
I'm sure. I'm sure of it. I think that my opinion here is I think they were kind of like the same thing with Zach Martin, with the same thing as remember the year we traded for Amari Cooper, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they were doing the same thing here, trying to go with, you know what, we like the guys we have, let's give them opportunity, and
Hmm.
if we see an issue there, then I they felt like, oh, let's go back here, you know what I'm saying, or an
Yeah.
injury would have happened. I
Facts.
don't think they were in a rush to try to get them back. I
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, I think it was in the plans if they didn't see something they like, but they weren't going to pull it right away, so.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's something we could have done. Running back's going to be the question, right? All eyes are going to be there. With that being said, Pollard, can you be that? Are you going to get the 20 touches? Is Deuce going to be more involved? Who is it, Malik Davis or the kid? What was the kid that fumbled the other night? I like his
Rico Dowdle.
Rico Dell, right? Like I like his explosiveness, but you can't do that in the
You
game. You
can't
can't
do
you
that.
can't. So
And we're gonna talk about these running backs in just a second because I'm. And here's the deal, Pete. And I gotta say this here, man. God Almighty. And I've heard people say he's done, he's washed up, he's finished, he's out of there, no more Zeke. But here's the positives from Zeke in 2022. Ninth in converting on third and short, 77.2%. Fifth among running backs.
yeah,
Fourth in converting rushes inside the 10 to TDs, 10 of 24. Scored TDs on 8 of 11 carries inside the 3, fourth in the league. Hasn't fumbled since 2020, 468 carries.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
I just had this conversation too yesterday, or actually before the game, was who's going to be that short yardage guy? Who's going to pick up those tough yards? And that's a question. That is a good question.
yeah,
And like I said, this is one of those things. I feel like they were just like, hey, we like these guys that we have in camp. We're going to try this out,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
and if it could be a possibility where if it doesn't work, they do go still make a move somewhere.
yeah,
I don't know what they would do, but like you said, that's you got to replace that production, right? You got to
yeah,
replace
you
that.
do.
There's so
And the running back takes a lot. It takes a lot of punishment, man. And well, this is 8 year in the league, so yeah, of course we're
yeah,
going to see a decline. We really are going to
yeah,
see a decline. And I think we've got to the point now, Pete, to where we're doing. This is why we're having problems with these running backs getting signed now because they're doing the 3-man rotation
yeah.
and they're taking a third rounder, a fifth round, and another sixth round, and they letting them, and they're paying the 3 for the price of 1.
Exactly, and it's a copycat league, right? It's a copycat league, right? Whenever the Patriots were
Yeah,
winning and doing all this stuff, what did every other team start doing? They started trying to make these trades in the draft, trying to do these will and deals. You even saw the Cowboys doing it, doing some of the experiment
of
what the
course.
Patriots did. Now you get the Kansas City Chiefs winning a Super Bowl with a seventh round pick, taking the field, and then a Jared McKinnon, journey guy coming in there. So they run those two guys. Hell, was it Edwards Hilaire was drafted by them? Was a second first round pick, late first
Exactly.
round, and
Exactly.
he and then he didn't even see the field no more this year.
Yeah.
So like it's. it's they're gonna so teams are gonna see that, and what happens that you see the Bears get rid of David Montgomery, you see
Yeah.
the Lions get rid of Jamal, you
Well,
see all
look
you
at what's
see
going on with Jonathan up there in
Taylor, yeah,
Jonathan Taylor. What the
yeah,
crap? I mean,
yeah,
dude, are we devaluing our running backs? That
big
is
time,
bananas. It's
big
got
time,
to a point that they're taking 10 toes down, standing on what they're going to do with the running backs. But Jonathan Taylor's like, dude, look, trade man, it's nothing wrong with me. You want to
yeah,
put me on the pup list? There's nothing wrong with me. So it's a big issue going up there with the coach. So this
yeah,
is crazy, man. But again, we wish Zeke the best. Just like the
yeah,
comment down here below, it's bittersweet, but I hope Zeke does well. And guess what?
yeah.
We play him in week 4.
Yeah, it's
we
early. You'll see him early, huh?
we play them in week 4, so we gonna see exactly what Zeke is made of, man. But but again, we're talking about a guy that finished third when he was split in time with
Yeah,
876 yards, 12 TDs.
yeah,
So that says a lot. So I think New England is getting a good player, but they're looking at using him in the same way as we was thinking
yeah.
about, third down, short yardage guy. So and anything,
Belichick's a smart guy, so he's gonna
yeah.
utilize him to the best what he got. So yeah,
Facts, facts, facts. So yeah, man, that's something that we definitely have to you know send our congratulations to Zeke because he's one of the guys that's been with us all this time.
yeah,
So we got to make sure that we tell him best of luck with him and things go his way, and shoot, he continues on. I just hope he don't do us bad.
yeah, yeah. Just don't have a good game against us. We got a couple of those we got a couple of those games on the calendar. We got a Kellen Moore and we got a Zeke now, so we
Yes,
get a
sir.
couple.
Yes, sir. So I hate it, but it is what it is. We Dallas Cowboy fans. So you on the other side now, dude. So
Yeah,
yeah, so here we are, man. Also, so Tank, Tank Lawrence is sending a strong message, my man. So what's going on with that? It's being reported Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence sends strong warning to NFL. He says nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Woo!
mm,
So it said right here, defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence is among those players, and doing a recent interview with Sirius XM Radio on their training camp tour, he sounded off on a number of topics. When asked about the additions such as Gilmore and numerous other playmakers in the secondary, Lawrence had a warning for opposing NFL offenses. I love our group, he said. We're blessed all across the board and definitely going to see the production from the moves that we made over the offseason. And adding another corner to our group, I feel like that is a huge plus for us. Again, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. What do you think about that, Pete?
I you feel the confidence, right?
Yeah.
Even with that defense that was out there Saturday night, you didn't have your starters, and they're going up against the first team offense. You get a pick right off the first drive. You feel the confidence across the board with this defense everywhere. Now you got to bring it now.
Yeah.
You remember what was a few years ago this Hot Boys deal, whatever they were
Yeah.
doing, and you know what I'm saying that defense wasn't as good as what this could be right here. So
Exactly.
just okay, that's fine, talk, but let's bring it when it's time to bring it.
Yeah.
That's all I
Don't
got.
talk about it, be about it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's right. Shots fired. So we'll believe it when we see it. But I agree with Tank Lawrence, though, man. I mean, whew, this defense is loaded. This
yeah.
defense
It
is
is.
loaded. And just like who was that asked earlier? Z Money asked about, the confidence level of the cornerbacks. And I say you can't go wrong either side because now instead of you trying to pick on who we have on Anthony Brown,
Anthony Brown or Kevin Joseph. Yeah.
yeah, now you got Kevin Joseph. Now you got Gilmore over here. He's just as much of a veteran as Trayvon Diggs. He's
Mm-hmm.
helping Trayvon Diggs to reach, hit the ceiling. So here's a comment real quick. He's comment was mentioned. This defense believes in their ability to dominate. Tank and Micah are the voices. Just need the work to show now.
Yeah.
Totally
That's it.
agree.
That's it.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Now it's
That's
time to back up that talking. And it's like knowing that you have an all-star team playing against a high school team, and you're
yeah.
better than them. So they believe in what they're seeing.
And the thing about it is, we've seen this. You remember what was it when Philadelphia they went and signed all these guys? They were just former Pro Bowlers, and then also we did the same thing with the Tank Johnson and Pac-Man Jones. When we did that year,
Yeah,
we get when they got all these guys, and everybody got excited, and it just it flopped.
yeah, it
And
did.
but I think this is a different situation though because you got homegrown guys
Yeah,
and you're adding bits and pieces from like free agents like a Gilmore, and you're just adding those pieces that you think you need for the defense to get over the top, and then the one piece is our defense coordinator. That's the
yeah.
piece right there. You got to give him. I mean, he gets most of the credit right there for turning this.
And you're so right, Pete. And I'll say, we talk about that last draft that we did, and we was like, well, we picked Mozzie in the first round. We got Schoonmaker, and that's great. And I'm glad we got Mozzie. I'm glad we got everybody we got. But we had people complaining. But I keep telling people today, if we didn't do anything else, I think the best move we made, we kept Dan Quinn. That was probably
Yeah,
the best move
that's
we
the
could
best
have
move.
made.
That's the best.
Keeping
You
your
go
defense
to
coordinator.
what is it? The last 3 years where they led the league in takeaways in
Yeah,
3 years in a row or 2 years in
yeah.
a row, whatever it could be. Like how do you don't do that just with anybody like that? That's coaching right there.
Well, think
And
yeah,
he's and you got to think about it too. Throughout those years, this hasn't been complete defense. We're missing some pieces here. You know, Diggs early on in his career, he's a rookie. Like we brought in some veteran safeties now.
yeah,
We've gotten on to LVE for the last couple of years, and last year he showed out pretty good. So
yeah.
you just gotta and I feel like he instilled this confidence into these guys for Tank to be talking like this, for Micah to be talking like this, like that. He's a big part of why they're talking this way.
They have bought into the system. And Dan Quinn has done a total 180 of this darn defense because, like the comment right here, Nolan to Quinn. We had Mike Nolan. We had gave up 273 points, not yards. We
His
gave up
point.
273 points in one season.
Yep.
So, to turn this thing around with
Yeah.
Dan Quinn, the first year he got here, it turns around. Mike who? We didn't know who
Yeah.
Mike Nolan was. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy came in and he like I say he's hands on with these guys, and basically they have bought in. They love
Yep.
playing for Dan Quinn. So man, that's saying something, man. As a coach, when you got your players, believing in you and buying into the system, and that's where we are. So Dan Quinn was probably the biggest move that we made in the off season, and shoot, and it's getting better, man. It's getting better with
Yeah.
time. So
It's just like man, you're just one of those things you just look at and you're like, man, I ain't gonna worry about that side right there. That side just like what I'm saying, like it's just one of those. I don't have question marks over there,
yeah.
and like I said, let's hope they bring it to the field and they just build on what they've been doing. Like you said,
Exactly.
just
Oh,
keep
and
on
that's
getting
that's
better.
what they're
So
doing. They're
yeah,
definitely doing it. And we're gonna do a review of each position out there a position in here in just a second. So we're gonna get into that. But now here's something that's being said, man, and player on the bubble. There's a player that could be on the bubble, man, and who this guy is, it could be our guy. It could be our guy that could miss the 53-man roster. And they talking about Cavante Turpin. And I know we saying, we like Cavante, but according to Calvin Watkins, he's saying wide receivers are Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Jalen Tolbert, CeeDee Lambs. Then on the bubble is Turpin, Houston, Fajoko, and Brooks. So, man, they got him on the bubble. What do you think? Turpin being on the bubble like that, you think? So, it,
let me ask you something. How many do you think they keep?
you know, we know we got the three for a fact. I'm gonna say probably 6, 7.
6. I say let's say 6. Let's be conservative and we'll say 6.
Okay. Okay.
So we got Lamb, we got Cooks, we got Gallup, top 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Tolbert, his confidence level is through the roof right now, and and
Yeah.
and he looked completely different from what I
Yeah.
saw from last year, day and night. I thought
Yeah.
so. I say he makes number 4,
Number 4, right.
and then you got Turpin for Hoko, Houston, and and
Ah,
I I don't see how Turpin misses it. He had the fumble, right? Okay. And but the special teams is a way to make
Yeah,
the team.
yeah,
And if Deuce is going to be a big part of the running game, he's not going to be returning kicks.
no,
So I don't I if they're going to keep six, he makes it. If
yeah.
they go, so I think so. That's my take on it
And
right
that's
there.
possible. I guess he just, just I don't know. When I saw that report, I was like, I don't know. I need to ask people what they think about this. But personally, I think he'll make the team. And if all else fail, he'll go back to special teams. But
Yeah.
he fumbled the ball. It happened. But
But
again,
he's a Pro Bowl. He's a pro. He made the Pro Bowl last year at special
yeah,
teams. That's one thing he got for him, right? We've
yeah,
seen him. He's explosive on special teams. Uh, and like you said, he if they're going to keep six, we've named the four that we got. Then the other two spots are up for grabs. Can any of those other guys do what he does on special teams? No.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think, to me, he's safe.
Yeah, I think he's safe as well. I mean, now Jalen Tolbert just with that one game, I think he's separated from Fehoko. So I
Yeah.
don't think there's a close race between the two, just because of what he did. He scored, he scored, on Saturday, but he also made him.
His routes look
Yeah,
crisp.
his
Yeah.
rap was crisp, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, man, we're gonna get into all that here in just a minute. But I think Jalen did kind of separate from all the other receivers. But we do have a game coming up this Saturday, a late game. But we definitely will get a chance to see it again. So I'm
Yeah.
liking what we have going on. I like the competition. But here's the next question. So let me ask you this. And some people said it should happen, some said shouldn't happen. So the question is, should Dak play in the preseason?
Uh, McCarthy is a big believer of not playing his guy in the preseason,
Right.
and I'm going to believe in him. I'm always on the fences about this, but we've seen Dak the last couple of years have some scares with the injury, so I am okay with him not playing in the preseason at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like to know what the people, I mean, what the subscribers think. But it's something I want to know. Here's the question: should Dak play in the preseason? So
I mean, we playing the Giants first week. That's like a preseason, right, man? Not just with it. I got to fire the shots, man.
wow, wow. So Larry G said yes, he thinks so.
Yeah, I mean,
So and I understand because I was kind of on the fence about that too, Pete and Larry. I was kind of
yeah,
like, at least he could get in. Maybe he need to get in for at least one series,
yeah,
something like that. So, but then again, according to Mike McCarthy, he like you say, he's a strong believer. Hey, we know who's on the team. We know who's on the team. We need to find out who's going to make the team and who's not going to make the team. And
yeah,
and this we have 17 games. So when will you have a chance to evaluate your players if you have all your starters out there the whole time? So
yeah,
Mike McCarthy is taking his time to say, I need to evaluate who's going to be behind this person. So here's a comment. He should get one drive game forward. Just get the truck moving again. Last two season offense started slow. Yeah, and see, you can't go wrong. You can't go
yeah,
wrong. And
yeah.
I
I'm
heard,
with you. And like you said, like, sorry, I mean to interrupt
go
you.
ahead, bro.
Since they shortened it to 3 games in the preseason, I would be okay with one series. If they did the 4 games, you have more games to evaluate, so you do that
Yeah,
second game like they usually do for a quarter or whatever.
right.
But being 3 games only, like McCarthy, I see his point. Trying to evaluate, you only have so much time to evaluate these other guys. So and you know what these guys can do,
Yeah,
so I get it.
yeah. And like I said, we went from 4 preseason games to three. So you need those three. And and the thing about it, and the way they have to practice, everything is a cram session where they do in the training camp. It's just cram. So you got to learn something on the fly, on the fly. So you're trying to put something together. And I noticed one thing about McCarthy and Danquin, they were very vanilla. They was very vanilla on the field, man. It was, I mean, it was
Yeah,
run through between the tackles,
yeah,
go across the middle. That was it. A couple of slant plays, but. You
That's why you see so many so like bad defense in the first month of the season because poor tackling because of the way training camp and because of the
know,
way these games
exactly.
are. So that's why when we look at games, we have to look at them in quarters and see how you go by that way because some teams are going to start off slow and then come on strong. So it's just the way it
Right.
is.
And it is, and it's sad that the game has changed, from back in the '90s and things like that. But it is what it is. Z Money says, "How is Pollard's injured? Pollard's ready to go.
Yeah, they're ready to go.
He's Z Money. He's just sitting on the sideline right now, man, waiting for the season to start. So
Yep.
no worries there, man, at all. So here's another comment right here. We got let's see, here it is. Oh, my moderator, she on it. I'm doing her stuff. I think quarterback is a lock one. Dak. Okay, Dak one, rush two. So last game of preseason, I feel not much to see there. So a drive wouldn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
yeah, you can't go wrong. Protect them, but they're not gonna let Dak get out there behind that O line. What we saw.
No, no, that's not going to happen.
Woo! You see how quick they pulled Cooper Rush out of there. He took that one. He said, "Oh, hey, Coop, come here, Coop. Hey, Will, you got the rest of the game, brother. We're not putting
Yeah.
our guy out there behind that there, though."
Nope.
But yeah. So, man, again, you can't go wrong. Some say, basically want to see him, and some say, I'm agree. I agree. This is the moment or the time that we need to evaluate what we got and who's going to be on the team. So that's just how I feel about that. So it can't go wrong. So with that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the review of the Dallas and the Jag. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, woo, man, I don't know. So let's get into these stats real quick and see what. So we already know the score was 28-23, and nobody was really keeping score. It really wasn't. So, Will Greer came in. He was 22 of 31 with 199 yards, two TDs, one interception. And I think we saw Will Greer get into a groove a little later on in the game, and he did pretty good at the end. After the second half, he did pretty good. Wouldn't you agree? How do you feel about that? You there? You there, Pete? You know, froze up, Pete. But anyways, that old line was like Oprah. You can get through. You can get through. You can get through. Oh, that's true. Yeah, something. Yeah, you're right about that. Oh, I think you're frozen, Pete. But anyway, so let's do this here. Let's till Pete gets back on. So anyway, so here we are with the stats real quick. And again, what we got Cooper Rush, he was 10 for 12 for 83 yards. 10 for 12. I mean, that's pretty good for the time that he was out there. And you can't go wrong with that. So um also now in Dallas running or Dallas rushing, we had the top of the list, Deuce Vaughn. Was 8 for 50 yards with one TD. His longest run was for 26 yards. Rico Dotto came in behind him with 6 carries for 21 yards. His long was 7. Will Greer ran one time for 14 yards. Hunter Luke had 3 carries for 6 yards. And Malik Davis had 4 carries for 3 yards. That's not good. That's not good at all. So yeah, but it is what it is. But Deuce Vaughn definitely stood out and made it hard for the other running backs, and I can truly say that it didn't help Malik Davis. So the Dallas receivers. So at the top of the list was John Stevens Jr. Oh yeah, a name that we haven't been talking about at the tight end position, but John Stevens Jr. actually had 5 receptions for 56 yards and one TD. So now we have to put him in. His long was 21 yards, and he had 7 targets. So he only missed 2 balls, or overthrown or underthrown or whatever, but he was 5 of 7 for 56 yards. So John Stevens is definitely going to have to be put in the conversation along with Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonmaker and all those guys. So come to find out, it shows that Jay Ferguson had 3 for 38. His long was 23. I mean 26, and he had 3 targets. So he caught all 3 of his. Rico Dowdle. Let's see who else. Schoolmaker had 1 for 8. Sean, well, he didn't have anything. Deuce had 3 for 6. And yeah, Tyron Johnson had 1 for 7. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with our stats on our Cowboys. And I want to go into talking about our defense. And where we want to start? Let's start with the secondary. I want to see what you guys think. Let me get some of these comments because I kind of missed some of these comments. Let's see. Let's see. There's a comment right here. That old line was like, okay, we read that one. Okay. Let's see. Here's another. We got another. Do you see the Cowboys moving on from Dak, and if he lets down this team or has the most interception? I don't think it'll happen. I think being up under being up under Mike McCarthy is going to help him and put him in good situation to be successful. So, uh, I think that's a plus. That's a plus for yeah, Dak having Mike McCarthy in position to help him. So, talking about this defense, I'm gonna start with this secondary. Now, this secondary I could have gave this secondary an A just because of Wanye. Wanye Thomas come right out the back, right against the first team offense and gets the pick. So that was a good start. Only reason I gave him a C plus to a C due to the fact that a few times our secondary got lost. I think our secondary got lost a little bit and throughout the game, but the secondary held its own. Gave up a few 28 points. It's nothing to laugh at, but again, it's just preseason. But just evaluating the defense and starting with the secondary, I really think that they did good starting off with Wanye coming out with the interception, but the I was just saying this, Pete, when they was on the goal line, I could tell that they was a little bit out of sync before the play, and I thought somebody was going to probably call a timeout, but it didn't happen. So again, they gave up the touchdown and in the back of the end zone. And so I gave them a C. I'm telling you, we're talking about the secondary, Pete. I don't know. What do you think about the secondary?
Man, like you said, like I saw the secondary first drive, that second team come in against the starting
Yeah.
Jags. Hey, with a Ridley, a Christian Kirk, all these guys, you know, and intercept first drive.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave up a touchdown at the end. What was it, a fourth and something they gave up down
Yeah.
there? I mean,
Yeah.
but at that, I was like, man, I was like, man, that's good. Could this be like? Because that's one of the questions, right? Behind Gilmore, behind Diggs, what is there? What is there? You know, we got Deron Bland, and if something happens, what are we going to do? And we saw some young guys really just step up and with their opportunities.
Yeah, yeah, and like again, they could have had. I would have gave them an A where they started out, but I gave them an A against that first team
Yeah,
offense. But it's just, I guess they started bringing red wine and some other guys in. It kind of lost, track of what was going on. So I wanted to give them a C plus, but we kind of gave up a lot of points. But it's all good. It's all good. It's not all on secondary because we did have Eric Scott gave up that outside. So
yeah.
so like I say. I think now that they got their feet wet, they got their game behind them now. I think they'll make do a lot better next game. So, um, yeah, something. Larry G said something real quick before we go on. He said, "I don't think Cowboys fan realize we can't get rid of that. We're stuck with," and pretty much that's the truth. We
We've
get
been
rid of them.
saying that. We've been saying that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think Dak is ready for a comeback since just Caleb Williams. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, Dak is ready. Dak is ready. He better be ready. He better be ready.
Hey,
He better be ready. But we're gonna get to the offense just a minute. So, Pete, let me ask you, what do you think about the linebacker core?
man, the kid from Texas impressed me. He impressed me. Um, and he was one of my he. I mean, I'm still going to look at him. Right, it's one preseason game. I'm not going to try to get too excited about it, but from what I saw, man, get to the point where he needed to be. There was what I saw. I liked what I saw from him. Hold
Right,
on.
right. Yeah, and he, dude, that's one of the best I've seen play. I mean, those two guys playing together like they did, man. That was, man, that was awesome seeing those two guys play together like that. Thomas, I mean, and when we talk about Damone Clark, he stepped up, man. I mean, he was all over the place. He's dropping back in coverage. He's filling gaps. He hitting them on the sideline along with Demarion Overshawn. Demarion
Yeah.
Overshawn was coming sideline to sideline, and he's filling those gaps, man.
You saw that sideline to sideline speed, right? You saw the
Oh my
same thing I
gosh.
saw. Like I was like, wow, man. And Damone Clark, we were happy about him last year with the playing time we got, and we just kind of figured he's gonna get better, you know. Uh, and like you said, man, that you know, he's one of those picks where I was like, man, is that a good, And so far, like from what I've seen, like we'll keep it, let him keep on rolling, see what he can do. But
Yeah.
so far, I was happy with what we have at the linebacker
Oh
core so far.
my gosh, man. That 4th and 1. And to see Demarion Overshawn fill that
Yeah,
gap
just
like
fill
that,
that gap.
man. I mean, it was a beautiful thing, man. And again, just to see those guys work in chemistry like they did, man, it was a beautiful thing. I mean, dude, I'm telling you this, bro. He said, here's a comment with Clark and Overshawn stepping up. Do you think that leads Cox? Yeah,
He,
man, Cox. Ooh, wee, man. Ooh, well.
and G, we've talked about right. Last year we were man like, and I understand last year he was coming off that major injury, so maybe that had some effect on him last year. I'm really hoping he still can make this team. I don't think he'll be one of the top three guys. Hopefully he can. I really do like him. I really think he has the
Yeah,
ability.
so do I.
But after seeing those two guys Saturday, man, so far them and LVE got to have the inside track, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right now, that's where it's looking right now. But man, I'm telling you,
yeah,
just see those guys play in sync where they did side by side. And man, those some big guys. Those guys are standing like 6'3", 6'4". These some big guys, man, and they're moving around the sideline to sideline. And then you add Michael Parson up on the line of scrimmage. It's going to be the bananas, man. So, and we talk about the linebackers like we do, and we give them high praise. Now, I give them an A. I gave them an A for how they played. Now, Jefferson, he kind of hurt him because he gave up that outside, but I gave him that could have been an A plus if he wouldn't have gave that up. But Malik Jefferson was on the outside linebacker, and he bit inside and gave up that long run on the outside. But I gave him an A because I like what I saw.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we talk about the linebackers and their production, but none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for that D line.
No, yep. And we talk about that all the time, right? If you ain't getting no pass rush, or you're not holding your guy for the linebackers to come up to make that play.
There you go. People were saying Mozzie, in which Mozzie did. Mozzie started off a little slow,
Yeah,
but I guess people, let me say this here. Mozzie is not here to get sacks.
no, he's not.
Mozzie is here to draw double teams. Hear me clearly now. Where people say, oh, Mozzie didn't get any sacks. That's not his job. Mozzie is to draw a double team. And then on the other side of him, he had Osa drawing a double team. So when you got two of your D linemen, which we continue saw previous years where these guys were slashing us up in the middle to where we couldn't stop the run. The two times that they did run the ball, they had to bounce them outside. Isn't that right, Pete?
Yep,
They had
yep,
to bounce them outside because there was nowhere to run inside. So
yep.
Monzi was drawing the double team just about every time he was lining up in the gap,
On
along
Trey
with
said,
Bo Hanna, along with
hmm
Gallimore. So this D line did was beautiful. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, no, just like Andre Romero said here. Sometimes he's being triple teamed. The guy was being triple teamed sometimes.
Yes,
And,
yes,
but like you said, it showed on that play, right? On the fourth and short, like it showed on the play.
that's
And
right.
like you said, I'll admit I'm one of those guys that I like okay, let's I don't want to say I question the pick, but also too like I'm just like okay, let's give him a chance because we've gone through this before. Like okay, guy that should we draft this guy and they turn out like a Travis Frederick or just something or just like man, is this the right pick?
Right.
And they attacked their weakness, right? They said this is our weakness. They went and tried to address it last year with Hankins, and then this year they did it through the draft. So
Mhm.
it to and it showed, right? You want to have those guys up there like when Ray Lewis was in Baltimore when he had old
Man,
Siragusa and those
stop.
guys,
That just
right?
gave me
So
goosebumps.
so
Man,
so
that
you
gave me
just
goosebumps.
that's what you want right there. That was our week. Their teams were gashing us right through the
Yeah.
run. So it
Andrea
was
say 3 5 linemen on Mozzie, 3 to 5 linemen on Mozzie leaves 2 linemen left to pick up Tank, Micah, and Hank. Wait a minute. Let me do that one more time. That's real talk, man. That is real talk. That is the whole object of what we're trying to accomplish on that front line. Free up those linebackers.
yep
And the 2 long runs that they burst for 20 some yards, they had to bounce them outside. And that's
yep
only because Eric Scott Jr. bit inside and then Jefferson bit inside. Them 2 long
yep.
runs they had. But everything else was plugged up in the middle. In the middle. I like it. I even said no run zone. I like it. I like it. So yeah, that's what made the linebackers look good. But I did see one time Damone Clark dropped back in coverage. He dropped during the 30 yards
Mhm.
back in coverage.
Yep,
But
I
he
saw
can
that.
do that. He
Yeah.
can do that. So man, this defense was awesome. So let's go to this offensive side of the ball real quick. So let's start with the receivers. What do you think about the receivers, Pete?
Like
What
we
you
said, we talked about it earlier. I think Tolbert was the winner of Saturday's game. It feels like he got his confidence. It feels like he's ahead of the pack for whatever that fourth, fifth spot, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
He kind of gave himself a little separation in that game. Like we said, we'll see what he does continues on Saturday, but I see a different guy than we saw last year.
Yes.
Uh, so,
And that has a lot to do with what the play calling. See, like Mark McCarthy said, it's not about the players, it's about the play caller. So he
yeah,
had to put them in position to be able to make the plays. And that's what Mike did. We're gonna talk about Mike McCarthy here at the end, but he did some things that I was watching and I was really excited about what he was doing. But yeah, Tobin, I think he has separated himself. But at the same time, another guy that stood out was Dennis Houston. Dennis Houston would not
yeah,
go away. He would
no.
not go away.
No, and he did the same thing last year, right? We saw some of that with him last year, where he got the opportunity to start the season in as that 53-man roster, and
Exactly.
he's a kid. I know it's a guy they really like too, and like you said, the more we talk about these guys, the smaller and smaller that last section is going to be. Like we said, Turpin, Houston,
Yeah,
Tolbert. I say those are the last three in so far
that could be the
after one
case.
game.
That
So
could be the case. After one game, I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. I definitely agree with you. And old Turpin, he had a nice little catch too. Even though he fumbled, he came back and went. And Turpin can run some darn good routes. I was watching him.
yeah,
He runs real good routes too, man. So,
yeah,
I mean, you got a lot of speed out there. So it's has going to be yet to be seen exactly how good this receiving core is, and we will definitely see that here in the near future. So, yeah. So I gave the receivers a B. I gave them a B,
yeah,
because we didn't see a lot of going on with the receivers, but we did.
yeah,
Jalen Tobin had 2 good catches, but he got a flag that brought it back, and then he got the touchdown pass. But then
yeah.
outside of Houston, he had a nice little catch as well. So, yeah. So, let's move on to the quarterbacks. What do you think about the quarterbacks? You had Cooper Rush that started, which didn't stay in there too long. They said, "Oh, hey,
Yeah,
you come on out." And then we
yeah,
had Will Grier. So, what do you think about these quarterbacks?
yeah. I felt Rush was sufficient enough for what he had, what he was playing behind, and I felt like Greer has kind of make a step forward from last year, from what I saw. I feel like he he's kind of stepped up his game a little bit more.
Hmm.
this year from what I've seen. You know, using his legs and uh, throwing the ball as well. You know, I'm last year was a question, right? Where like is Rush who's our backup? And Rush went on that run, winning 5 games, and
Hmm.
so I feel like our quarterback situation is good. We're set
Yeah,
where we're
he was.
at. So
Yeah, he was 10 for 12. So I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty accurate, man.
yeah, that's accurate.
That's pretty accurate. So
Playing behind that O line. So
yeah, well,
yeah.
yeah, behind the old line, and see, that's the thing that I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. But one thing I did notice what we had in Saturday's game versus what we didn't have with Boy Wonder. Mike McCarthy didn't give up. He saw that the quarterback was having a hard time. Both quarterbacks were having a hard time, and he saw that this O line was not where they needed to be. But the thing about it, we started off slow, but the thing about Mike McCarthy, he continued to grind to get them
Mm-hmm.
in position to be good, to be great, to be successful.
Yeah,
And sure enough, after halftime, Will Greer game totally changed.
yeah, sure
So
did.
Mike McCarthy understands situations. Situation. This is a situation deal. So we got to get Will Greer in a situation because they pull. I think what they pulled Cooper Rush out. What
Yeah, it
first
was
quarter?
first. Yeah, Greer had most of the game. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah,
Cooper,
you think Rush is a starting quarterback the way they played him. So yeah, exactly.
I say we can't take this chance. We got Cooper. You come on. We agree. You got the next 3 quarters. And he started off sluggish. But the thing about it, Mike continued. And I'm gonna say this real quick about Mike. Mike, they asked Mike. They say, well, in the press conference, they said, Mike, so what do you think about? Let's just say Damone Clark and his play. He said, well, I don't have that privilege anymore. I can't watch the defense while the defense playing. I'm over here trying to draw up my next plays for the offense. Man, that was great to hear that.
Yeah,
That I can't watch the defense. I got to let the defense do their. I got to be over here with my quarterback, and I got to drop these plays for the next series. So, but again, that's the thing about with Mike. Mike never did give up. He continued to create plays. We know, okay, this line is not whole. I got to get rid of the ball quick. Let me get rid of the ball quick. Let's run the ball. Let's kind of create something between the tackles or whatever. He did it.
yeah,
I'm not worried about the score
no,
because again, we're talking about the evaluation. We're talking
yeah,
about the evaluation of these players, and Mike McCarthy did exactly what we needed him to do. So,
yeah,
yeah, quarterbacks, man, I give him a C. I gave
yeah.
him a C. I don't know what would you give him.
Yeah, I'm with you. C plus. I'm with right there in that area. I feel with what they had to deal with, but I feel comfortable going into the season on our quarterback situation, especially behind that what we have
Hmm.
there. So
Yeah, facts. And like I say, for what we had out there, again, they hung in there. Will Greer finally started getting his groove, started getting the ball off, even ran the ball for like 18, 14 yards or something like that. So that's great. So with that being said, I got before we even go into the running backs, I got a video I need to share. Oh yeah, I like the video. So check it out. Let's do this here. Yeah, let's do this here. So let's get that off there. Moderator. Yeah, there we go. So let's check this out, man. Check it out. I gotta show you this one here. Oh boy. This was bananas. Check it out. What?
mm, mm,
OMG.
mm.
Are you serious?
Ooh, ooh,
Are you serious? Did we just this guy made two guys run into look at that sidestep,
mm,
bro. This guy, one more time. What in the crowd? Look, collision. I hope they got
mm,
insurance. I hope they got insurance. Because boy, that's a head-on collision right there.
mm. Yeah,
But that's what, dude. So now I'm going to be the first to say. Now I'm going to be the first to say, Pete. I did say I had question marks about Deuce Vaughn and about the rest of the running back because we didn't know what we was going to get. I'm not going to say I couldn't say, hey, oh yeah, I have to see. But now I can raise my hand and say, this guy here, he just separated from the other running backs.
yeah.
Do you agree? I mean, I don't know.
I
I
agree. No, I agree. Look, sometimes you look at a player, and it's preseason, right? But he has a third string offensive line going up against third stringers as well.
Hmm.
And but sometimes you just see a play or you see something from a guy and you just know,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
just get like that guy, he's good enough. He's gonna be he's gonna help this team right away. And
yeah,
with Deuce, I mean, he can very well just move up to the second spot by the end of this preseason.
yeah. Andrea says, legend says if you're quiet enough, you can still hear those ankles are still breaking. Oh my gosh, man. Well,
Oh boy.
shots fired on that one. That, you damn right.
Uh,
So, and Ivan is saying he's running back too. Do you think he's the running back too?
I mean, like I said, I think I think so. I mean, we didn't see a lot out of Davis.
Nah.
He didn't do too much, and they drafted this kid. They see the explosiveness. If he can, they're gonna put the best on the field that has explosive plays ability, right? They're gonna
Yeah,
who has the big playability. He
yeah,
gives you a big playability.
yeah.
So
Oh, that was a big play, bro. Twice. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. That was I mean, that was something to see. Like I said, I just couldn't, I had to see it for myself. And and I was one. I said I had question marks. And still got to see what Rico Dowdle can do. I still got to see what Malik Davis can do. Because we don't have that bruiser running back. Do we need a bruiser running back, or can we run with the finesse guys that we have? So Malik Davis didn't look too good. He was
I
having a hard
mean,
time.
I
But he
mean,
was
think
also
about it.
going to get but he was also going against the first team defense too.
Yeah, he was.
So we
But if
can't
you
we
think
can't be that hard on Malik. We really can't.
if we're gonna give him some more. You're
Yeah,
gonna see some more out of him. I
yeah,
think he's gonna have his opportunities during the season, at least to start the season. But if you
yeah,
think about it, I mean, look at that 4 yard run that Deuce had too between the tackles.
yeah,
That's not very finesse of it. Like I mean,
yeah.
he's a shorter back, but he's a stocky back. So
Right, right. Yeah. Ivan said, yeah, we talked about Zach more. Yeah, man, we
yeah,
are celebrating, man. I mean, $18 million. Yeah, we're celebrating big time that knowing that he's back. But I'm sure after Jerry saw where that line was performing, like, man, somebody call Zach. Somebody call
yeah.
Zach like right
No,
now. So but yeah, man, running backs, man, Deuce Vaughn definitely he separated himself from the rest of the pile. And
and it's something we're going to continue to watch, right? We got one preseason game out of it. We're going to continue to watch that and see
yeah,
how it goes. But
yeah.
you're right. It's like something to be excited about, though. It is something to be excited
It's
about.
very much something to be excited about. And right now, this is the competition battle. Again, this is why we have the preseason game as far as the Cowboys. We have to see who's going to be the next man in line and who's going to be behind that man. So this Saturday, we're going to see, us go up against Seahawks. But again, I don't think it'd be fair for us to say, Malik Davis was that bad because he did go up against the first team defense with our backup offensive line.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
going to take that away from Malik, and I'm going to look at it like that, and that's what it was. So we'll give him another shot and see how that goes for him. So yeah, so I gave the running backs an A, man. I really did. And the only reason I gave
Yeah.
one an A plus is Rico Dowdle, he fumbled. That's the only thing. But I gave him an A. So as how Rico fumble hurt him and Jones being suspended free that spot open for Deuce. Do we keep Jones? Do we keep Ronald Jones?
No, we said at the beginning here, right? We said
Yeah,
we thought in training camp that he was going to be the odd man out.
yeah,
He got the suspension. He's already hurt going into it. And yeah,
yeah. So that's what it is, man. So then when you talk about this O line, man, I wasn't impressed at all about this O line. O line just oh my gosh, Josh Ball. I don't know if that's going to work. Hoffman. I don't know if that's going to work.
yeah,
Woo,
yeah.
man,
So
it
many
was
questions.
ugly. It
So
was
many
ugly.
questions there behind our starting O line. You're just gonna hope our starting O line can get through the year.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? I'm gonna say this, Pete. I wouldn't be surprised we take some guy for and use him as trade bait to get an O lineman,
yeah, we could definitely could.
maybe two.
Yeah, I mean, I
We
feel
got-
like we got some depth at some spots that we can do that. So
oh my gosh, we definitely got to do better, man, at that old line, man. But yeah, but we got time, man. We got time. We got two more games that's coming up. So
What about? I know. I probably missed you earlier on this when I
Mhm.
got off. The one thing that I did saw. I know you probably went through our tight ends already, but Ferguson. I mean, come on, man. I just looking at it. I feel like he's a tight end for the next 10 years. That's how I feel by just watching him. That's just
Yeah,
me.
he's a baller, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely a baller, man. And this guy here basically has filled the shoes of. I think he's better than Dalton Schultz. I really do. I said it when he came in. He's a better blocker. He's a better catcher, and along with Schoonmaker. Schoonmaker's definitely going to make his presence known as well when he gets his shot. He's a great blocker. So yeah, I don't think we missed a beat on this, man. So
Yep.
yeah, this again, and that's why I talked about the Stevens kid. We got to put him. We got to put him in the conversation now.
Yeah, to put him in there. Yeah.
6'6"
I
guy.
agree. I agree.
He was a guy nobody was talking about. This guy comes in, make catches, and scores a touchdown. You got to put him in the conversation.
Yep. I agree. 100%,
So
man. 100%.
yeah. So, but hey, man, listen, it's been great, man. Like I said, we wasn't really looking for, what the numbers as far as the win losses.
Yeah.
It was. I'm one of those. I like to take my time and watch the player.
Yes, sir.
And overall,
About
overall, I was satisfied. I was really satisfied, man.
yes.
I really was. So
100. Agree with you, man. Very satisfied with everything. Like you said, we just want to evaluate these guys, want to see what these young guys are going to bring to the table and where we stand. Score doesn't matter. We gotta see what we have, and I was very happy with what we saw.
facts. I agree. I agree. Okay, people, we're not gonna hold you up. Andrew, it's a big Fergus tight end one. Yeah, he is. Yeah. And he has athletic ability, and he ain't no he's not scared of anything. He'll go up against
Nope.
anybody you put in front of him. So that
Yep.
that is a great sign, man, of a great tight end, and that's what we need, a great tight end to help out our offense. So again, man, I'm totally satisfied with what I saw. I don't care about the score for the evaluation. The worst part I saw was the offensive line. So we
Yeah.
need to work on that. We need to sharpen that. But everything else, I was satisfied with. So well, Pete, we're gonna keep it moving, man. It's 8 o'clock. We done held these people for a long time, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
I always
man.
appreciate you coming on, man. You know what we
Y-
do on Monday night, so just
Yes,
just
sir.
just stop through and come on and help me out, man. Cause
Yes,
like I
sir. I
say,
got you.
yeah. So and again, everybody, I want to say thank y'all for stopping through, taking our time to chop it up with us, and we're not gonna hold you any longer. But like I always say, stay safe and be blessed. It's your boy G, the number one Cowboy fan Hampton, with my man Pro Cowboy. Let's go. Deuces.